Hey everyone, it's so great to be here. I can't wait for you guys to meet Aaron Mastny, who I've known. Aaron, how many years has it been since I've known you?
Wow. I've been traveling on the road for like 2 years now, and then I was going to Sobe Kick for at least like 2.5, 3 years, something like that. And so ever since I was going there every day, you were
Yeah,
there.
I was
And so,
there. I was there
yeah.
teaching the same class at the same times on Tuesday and Thursday for over 10 years.
Oh
Can you
my
believe that?
gosh.
Yeah.
You're not, is it Sobe Kick still open?
Sobe
No.
Kick is still open. Yes, they're making some
Okay.
some big changes. Johnny Rock, who may be watching this at some point, he's still around, and he said he talked to you the other day too. It's like full circle. That's how it feels. It feels like we are
Yeah.
coming around full circle here. You took my
Yeah.
class. We knew each other from Sobe Kick. In fact, you even introduced me to some products, including LiveUltimate back in the day. And
Yes.
what
Yes.
happened? What did I do?
So it was interesting because I was, we were set up as a different type of platform back then. And so I shared it with you, and you were kind of like turned off by the network marketing model, which I get a lot of people have a lot of resistance to. And I'm grateful that we've switched out of that because I think it really took away from what we do in terms of the quality of the products. But you weren't interested. I think you were just kind of like, yeah, you just said no. And I was like, and I respected that. And I was like, I'm not the type of person that pushes. So I was like, okay, no worries. And then it was interesting you came back to it
Mhm. Yeah,
because
yeah.
of the
So yeah, for most people who know me know I'm very skeptical, rightfully so, of products
yes.
out there that market themselves as being like the healthiest product because there are just so many. And as an influencer, I am bombarded by people coming to me saying they've got the best product, the best protein, the best greens, the best whatever it is. And so eventually I was just like, I can't do all the research I need to do my due diligence for each and every one of these. And somehow I think it was that LiveUltimate kept coming back to me over and over again. I think that's what
Yeah.
happened. And I said, okay, you know what? Let me check it out. Let me do my due diligence. And when I did, and it helped that they were local, I realized, and then I gave it a shot. And the difference was so noticeable that I said, okay,
Right.
this is different. And we talk about intuitive eating and intuitive movement and all about really listening to your body. So when I actually could see and feel the difference, then I knew that there was something to this. And then having it be local, having met the owner, did 5K with Mark
With
one year
Mark,
at
yeah.
Seafood and Wine Festival. So yeah, just a community. And I think people who are watching this now and people that are watching later can comment and probably relate to what I'm saying about being bombarded and overwhelmed by all the supplements out there, which is why I'm so glad that you're here to kind of give us some clarity around a lot of things.
Yeah, so I mean, you're speaking into like a common problem, which there's so many choices out there. And unfortunately, let's just talk about like the greens like industry and a lot of products out there, they put fillers and they put things that sound healthy, such as bananas, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, or they'll put like papaya or put fruits and vegetables. And those really, in our opinion, are not superfoods. And those are just put in there to actually to try and have the product taste better, but then also to just give you something extra, really something that you could just eat on a normal basis. And so with Live Ultimate, what I like about the products is that they're 100%, they're raw, they're vegan, they're sourced from the best organic farmers from around the world, and there's nothing added to it other than like what you see is what you get, which is 25 top superfoods, which are broken into like different categories, like 8 alkalizing greens. So you got like moringa and spirulina and chlorella and alfalfa. And if anyone's interested, we have a whole product list. You can like read about it, but it's designed especially for women, to help them with their hormone balance. We have like there's a maca. There's like 15 different types of maca. We give you a white maca from the Andes Mountains of Peru, grown indigenous to that area, that really can help you with your hormone balance. And so, like yourself, like we just tell people do a 30-day challenge or take it for, 30, 60, 90 days and see how your body really adjusts to what these nutrients can do for you because Like for me, like I'm 46, and what brought me into the company wasn't actually the superfoods. I started taking the superfoods when I found out about them, but I came in because of the mushrooms. And
Hmm.
I don't know if your audience is familiar with medicinal mushrooms, but they're the fastest growing supplement. Or I don't even like to call these things supplements. They're whole food powders because there's a difference. Supplements add a lot of extra things to them that we believe are unnecessary.
I'm so glad you brought that up because one thing that people say, and sometimes I even say, okay, how can I explain this? Because I'm a whole food plant-based proponent, right? So I talk
Right.
about that, and a lot of people will come to me and say, well, I thought you were a whole food based, and here you are pushing, whatever, a supplement. Um, and so how would you respond to that if somebody says, well, no, I'm not going to take a supplement. I don't need one because I'm whole food plant-based.
Yeah. So, like, the programming is like we're so conditioned to supplements, right? Because they're everywhere. Energy drinks and powders and all this stuff. It's in we're in a day and age where like people want like instant gratification. So a lot of these companies they just sell out and they just kind of put things in there that aren't necessarily good for us. Like assuming that we're not going to really understand. So we're not like we're just trying to get results, right? But Mark, he created this company because he couldn't find the products that he was looking for. He was looking for something that was just pure. Like, why not just give people really what they're looking for? And so that's when the elixir was born. And then they got into the mushroom business because Brian, the botanist, he's one of the creators of this formulation. If you guys are in Miami, you might know him because he's a very talented runner, and he found mushrooms, and mushrooms are great for brain support, immune function, and energy. I mean, there's a mushroom called lion's mane that literally regenerates your brain neural pathways. A doctor discovered in 1993. And I struggled with ADHD my whole life. And so, what was I given? Like a lot of us, when we're diagnosed or given something like a diagnosis, they gave me pharmaceutical drugs. And they gave me Adderall, they gave me Ritalin. And growing up, I had no idea, but I hated feeling like I needed to take a drug to make myself feel normal. And then, so when I was introduced to the mushrooms in 2018 at a birthday party, Brian just gave me a glass of like water with these mushrooms. And I thought psychedelic psilocybin mushrooms, like most of us in the
Mm.
Western, right? They're like, I was like, am I going to trip? He goes, no, these are for energy, like brain function. I was like, okay, I could use that. I tried it. And then I was like, wow, I felt energized. I felt like this meditative focus. And then I was like, I want to try this for 30 days. And that's when I went to the office when I was living in Miami and I met Mark Wachter and he started explaining to me why he created this company. And I was like, okay, I can back that. And so I became a distributor at the time. And then I became the lead distributor just because I just started sharing the products with all my friends and the people I cared about. And then just this past year, we got out of that model, which I'm grateful for. So now we're going more into wholesale and retail. And like now we're in doctors' offices. We just signed up a chiropractor out in California who these guys are like experts and they don't just want to give regular supplements. Like he took his green products off the shelves and he put our elixir on because he tried it and he's like, you know what, this is the real deal. And that's our challenge right now is overcoming all that resistance and all the people and all the choices that are out there. I mean, even if you look at like Athletic Greens, you look at their ingredient list, they put fillers and natural flavors. Those are not good for you. Natural flavors are another way to mask, you know, additives and preservatives.
So it actually says in the ingredient list, natural
I believe it's, yeah,
flavors.
we had a conversation just before this. I think it has like natural flavors or something in Athletic Greens. And
Yeah.
they're
So
like
what the hell is a natural flavor? What
it's
kind of an
just,
ingredient is that? That's not
it's a
I
made
mean,
up, yeah, it's a made up
crazy.
thing. Yeah. No, it's not. You don't want those things. Those are just like masks to like be able to put things in their products. So us as the consumer just kind of just we're like, oh, that yeah, natural flavors, but what we don't really know what that is.
No, that sounds like pretty ridiculous if you think about
Yeah.
it. That's not an
It's
ingredient.
no, it's so unfortunate. Like a lot of us are just being lied to like constantly with like information and we don't know until we finally wake up to it. And then that's us as the consumer. Once we choose with our dollar, like then we can that's when things will shift. So that's why we just got to get the word out and just have people just take the real thing and it takes time. It just
Yeah.
takes time. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I know Stephanie, for example, Stephanie is our head mindset coach in my coaching programs. And she's like, she was a coffee person. I mean, there was nothing that was going to take away from her coffee until she got on my morning magical mud, as I like to call it, with the elixir and the mushrooms. And
Right.
she now brews coffee so that she can smell it, but she literally doesn't drink it because she doesn't need it. And
Wow.
from this, yeah, no, and this is that she's not the only one of my clients who have tried it and said, wow, this is so effective in terms of energy that I don't need coffee anymore. Which, not that there's anything terrible about some black coffee. Usually it's what you put in the coffee that's the big problem. But if you can
Right.
get, if you can get that energy from whole foods, which is what this is, and medicinal mushrooms, then why wouldn't you? Like, that's so powerful.
Well, so there's a mushroom in the blend. It's called
Right.
cordyceps. So cordyceps, actually, Olympic athletes take it because it oxygenates their blood.
Mm.
So that gives you natural energy. That actually gives you sustained energy, and also like it also helps with men's libido. I don't know if anyone's looking for for that as a solution for themselves,
Well,
but it's,
not
I
them or
mean,
their partner.
oh, maybe they're right, your partner, maybe. So Viagra becomes unnecessary when you're getting this natural oxygenated flow going through your body. And, mushrooms, there's a great mushroom movie out there if you guys are interested in learning more about mushrooms, but it's called Fantastic Fungi, and it's on Netflix. And so this documentary has this conversation about how we're more like mushrooms than plants. And so the first life form on the planet were actually mushrooms. So there's an intelligence to mushrooms. Like our brains are like the mycelium, which is the root system of mushrooms. The whole planet is made up of mushrooms. We come from the earth, we go back to the earth. So when you put mushrooms in your body, they're adaptogenic. And so they start giving your body actually this intelligence of what it's looking for. And so
Mm.
just like working out, right? Like if you don't continuously work out, if you don't use it, you lose it. Same thing with like lion's mane, which is one of the mushrooms, is in our blend. It's like it will create neurogenesis. So now, like I used to struggle reading a book. Like I couldn't sit down and my focus was just so like this. Now I'm like, not only do I read a book, I read multiple books. I'll read like a book a week. But now it's like I remember and retain the information like there's no tomorrow. And there's articles written about this stuff. If you Google, there's lion's mane versus Adderall. Like there's no cure for Alzheimer's or Parkinson's disease. The only thing doctors know to give them is lion's mane and they can't
Mm.
explain it. They don't, because they don't understand. There's like hundreds of compounds in these mushrooms. Now, here's the big secret about the mushroom industry, which is something we're educating people about. Well over 90% of the mushroom products out there aren't real mushrooms. And the
Mm.
reason for that is because of how they're grown. And so there's a big like lie and myth that's going on. Like, so people are buying like mud water, host defense. But if you look on the packaging, it says brown rice substrate and oats. So when you grow your mushrooms in brown rice and oats, it turns into brown rice and oats. Okay. And that's a placebo, that's a filler. We grow our mushrooms organically on wood logs in hoop houses, USDA organic farms. And we only use the fruiting bodies, which is the top of the mushroom that has the compounds that you want in your mushroom product. So for all your listeners out there, like you can Google mushrooms and see and get like very inexpensive mushrooms, but you're just buying brown rice and oats. Like so our mushroom product, I actually just posted a video about it on my Instagram. So there's a compound called alpha glucans. Most people are buying alpha glucans, which is a polysaccharide. It's a starch, it's a sugar. It's not, it's a placebo. This is what comes when you grow, like just like when you grow fruits and vegetables in certain soil, if it's toxic soil, you're going to get toxic fruit. The
Right.
roots create the fruit. Same thing with mushrooms. You grow them organically in these wood logs, you take the fruiting bodies, you get something called beta glucans. Beta glucans is a compound. That's what you want in your mushroom product. We give you no less than 30% beta glucans. Beta glucans, if you look up the definition according to WebMD, it's for influenza, swine flu, respiratory tract infections, fibromyalgia, cancer. Mushrooms are now, there's a study by Penn State University, taking more mushrooms actually helps reduce cancer by, I think, like 20%. So
Wow.
that's why there's such a powerful immune support. Mushrooms, we turn back into mushrooms technically. So you start taking them on a regular basis, like I don't know. For me, I've just never felt more focused or alive in my life. And we couple that with your superfoods, your raw superfoods, like you just start operating on such a higher level of efficiency. Yeah.
This is amazing. Katie just said that she loved that documentary
Yes.
on Netflix. So thanks for that, Katie. Katie did our burpee challenge as well, and she's on the greens. I think she's on the elixir. Katie, have you tried the shrooms with that yet? Sandy actually from my group messaged me earlier and said, "Do you need both the elixir and the shrooms since the elixir has mushrooms in it?" Can you talk to that for
Right.
a moment?
Yeah. So it's a great question. So if you look at the elixir, and the elixir it does three main purposes. It nourishes, it detoxifies you, and it alkalizes you. So when you have an alkaline state, right, a body that's alkaline, it's very difficult for like cancer and things of that nature to grow in you. So if you're looking for all around nutrition, the elixir is the best. It does give you four medicinal mushrooms. It gives you cordyceps, reishi, shiitake, and maitake. But it only gives you 500 milligrams of mushrooms, which is a smaller percentage because obviously it has all the other superfoods in there. Now, if you're looking for, so I usually ask people, what are you looking for? And if they're looking for more something like brain support or like really intense immune function, or like, I mean, a lot of people are looking for immune boosting
Yeah.
properties or natural energy. The mushroom, one scoop of the mushrooms gives you 3,000 milligrams of fruiting body mushrooms. And you also get like 1,000 milligrams of beta glucans per scoop per serving. So it's funny because I was talking to Mark the other day and he's like, we're going to market it as like the power couple, which is like your ultimate health insurance plan. Because if you have all your nutrients and you have all your immune boosting, like brain function properties, you can't lose. I take both every day.
Yeah, me too.
And if you had to choose, like I would just figure out like, do you want overall nutrition or do you want brain support, energy, and immune
How do you
boosting
choose?
properties?
You, I mean, I want both personally,
Yeah, I mean,
but yeah,
it's hard.
I know what you're
That's why I
saying.
just take both every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we actually have a vitamin C product that we just launched, which a lot of vitamin C's are synthetic. They're sugar. They're actually they have something called ascorbic acid, and ascorbic acid is like it destroys your gut, so it actually breaks down your immune system. And we don't do that. We just give you all superfoods and superfruit. It's like real vitamin C, and then you mix that with the elixir, and then it just all goes well together, and it helps absorption of your actually superfoods. So
God.
yeah.
It's amazing. Katie said she hasn't tried the shrooms yet, but I'm going to add it to her subscription for next month. Yeah, she's
All
hooked.
right. Well, so Katie's the one that liked Fantastic Fungi.
Yeah.
Okay, so Paul Stamets, who's in that movie, his company is called Host Defense. So people, I've seen Paul, I've seen him at Burning Man, I've seen him down in Envision. He's great, but his product is on brown rice substrate, believe it or not.
Wow.
So I love Paul, but his product is just not like we have like we have eight medicinal mushrooms. We give you 3,000 milligrams. Like we have the best. I've never seen a product come close to what we have.
Now,
It's pretty
how do
cool.
people like, besides hearing it from you, right? Hearing it from
Uh-huh.
kind of the source within, how do people know, like, if they're out looking for the best supplements like this? I
Yeah.
mean, they're not really, the labels are misleading. The
Yeah.
marketing is a lot of times a lie, right? I mean, is there a
Yeah.
way besides, how do people get empowered by this stuff? I mean, this is why I'm doing this right now, is because it's very
You
empowering to hear it from you.
Yeah, so you wouldn't know unless you actually like it's like you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
Right? So that's like so Live Ultimate what we're doing a whole rebranding and like messaging of just like getting super clear of why we're different.
Right.
Because the majority of companies out there, they kind of just put up a smoke screen and they're all just selling fillers, a lot of them. And I'm sure there's I shouldn't say all of them, but like a lot, there's a handful of like the smaller companies usually have higher quality standards, but it's just like anything. Like the bigger companies come in and then they take a big they have their marketing machines. So like Mudwater, if you look at Mudwater's ingredients, it's brown rice, it's mostly chai tea and black tea, and they market themselves as like the anti-coffee substitute, but it's still caffeine, it's still black tea, so it's still like it's just another version just wrapped up in a different,
Mhm.
cover, but they wouldn't know until we tell them. Right? And then like the Asian cultures have been utilizing mushroom technology for thousands of years. So they know how to grow mushrooms. Here in the United States, it's unfortunately like it becomes capitalistic where it's like, okay, so we're going to take this good thing and then we're just going to try and make as much money as we possibly can off of it. And so I'm grateful that we're a smaller company that's like stuck to its values, but we want to get the word out so then we
Yeah.
can, just get people what they really deserve is what it comes down to.
Do you think you get what you pay for in general when it comes to these things?
Yeah, I mean, it just like, yes, like if you want quality products, you're going to pay a little bit more, but the money you save on the long-term compound effect of what you save with regards to your health is like priceless. So you try to cut corners in the beginning, you end up paying down the road. The problem is we don't see it up front, right? Because we're just like living in this moment. But this is why people, when they get sick, it's not they didn't just get sick one day. It's the compound effect of not taking care of themselves or doing something over and over and over again. And then like I have cancer. It's like, oh my gosh, now I got to handle this thing because I've neglected it for so long. And then by that time, it's like you're rushing and you're trying to do everything at once. It took years to accumulate that. Now it's like you're lucky if you can like figure out a way to overcome it. Right. So this is like this prevention of spending we're talking about like $2 or $3 a day.
Right.
Like, is my health worth $2 or $3 a day or $4 a day? Yeah, I would say so.
This reminds me, it's so funny. I had to get an MRI yesterday for my back, which was good news. So I'll be back in no time. I'm very excited about this. But
Nice.
I'm checking out and they were like, oh, you don't have supplemental insurance? And literally in my head, I go, well, I do. It's called LiveUltimate.
It's called LiveUltimate.
It's
Yeah.
my supplemental insurance, and that's what I've been calling it for years. And I think it really does help too, Aaron, that, like you said, like you can actually really feel the difference
Yeah.
when you take these things. I mean, that's always helpful, knowing that it's going to help us down the road or prevent disease and prevent, these things that are going to cost us a lot down the future is one thing. And logically you can say, okay, I know I need to do this now. But I think one really awesome component of LiveUltimate is that you actually do feel the difference. Like you said, like the focus that you get is
That's what
noticeable.
brought me, that's what took me, that's what actually, when I tried it, that's why I went to the office to go. I was like, I want this product because whatever my body chemistry, it was like, it wanted whatever was in there.
Yeah.
And so one of my biggest struggles my whole entire life was I struggled with addiction. And I always would, even as healthy as I would get, I would always continuously like relapse and go back. But it wasn't until I started taking medicinal mushrooms and superfoods that I'll be coming up on 4 years of sobriety off all substances. And for me, I'm 46. That's like years of just kind of just going in and out. But I don't think that it's a coincidence that I started taking mushrooms because then all of a sudden I started getting like naturally like in tune with my body. And I was like, why would I want to go back? Why not just keep moving forward? So there's something to be said there for me as well. Like that's why I'm so passionate about sharing this, information because of what it did for me,
Yeah.
how it's
Yeah.
helped me in my life. Yeah.
Well, congratulations. That's a big deal, first of all, for you.
Yeah, it is a big deal.
It's a really big
It's a
deal.
miracle that I'm standing here. You have no idea.
Well, we
I
might have to do some more lives and get into your
those, yeah, those
story.
will be some more, those will be different stories that,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a different, wow. Yeah, I'm very
Yeah.
grateful. So, yeah, you caught me at like my healthiest and I continue to move forward with it. Yep.
Amazing. Carolyn, who also was crushing our challenge this week, every day doing her greens, and she asked, do any retail stores in Toronto sell your products in Canada? So yeah, tell us about shipping. Like, we've got a lot of people in Canada. We've got some people all over the world.
Yeah, so we do ship internationally. Like we ship to Canada, we'll ship to, different countries all around the world. I mean, if you become like a subscribe and save customer, which basically means you get like 15% off the products and you get free shipping. I know that's within the United States. I don't know how much you probably have to still pay your shipping to go to Canada, but my recommendation for that is like I would just get like a couple months worth so you're not paying it like every time, right? So you can kind of save your money that way. but you can become subscribe. So, and then on the subscribe and save, you don't have to take it every month. You have it's very easy for you to like stop shipment or like push it out 6 months. And I have codes that
I
you
have
could get 20.
codes.
Yeah, so we have codes that you
Yay.
can get 25% off your first shipment. And then that's if you're subscribe and save, and you have codes that you can get 10% off. You just want to try it once. Yeah.
Yep. So I just popped those codes in the comments. And yeah, and with the subscribe and save, I mean, it's a no-brainer. Go ahead and get the subscribe and save. You can cancel it if you don't like it,
Well, you can
right?
even better. You don't even have to cancel. Like you'll get a
Oh.
link, and then you just stop shipment. And then when
Ah,
you're ready to reorder, you just go in there and reactivate it. You don't, I mean, you
ah,
could cancel too, but you don't,
right,
and then
but
just
you don't
start it
need
back
it.
up when you want. It's very simple.
Got it. Got it. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got quite a number or Carolyn, you just come take a trip to Miami and we'll send you back with a with a suitcase full. How about
Man,
that?
that's the ideal situation. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, and Carolyn, I forgot where you're at, but you're freezing right now. I know that weren't you having like a snowstorm this week? Like,
I mean,
yeah, come
if
to
they're in
Miami.
Canada, yeah,
Yeah.
that's where my uncle lives. It's
Woo.
definitely cold.
Yeah. All right. Well, this has been so informative, Aaron. Thank you so much for coming on and explaining. And if we have questions, I think we got you in our Empowered Beacon Live group, which is where the questions will probably be. Can we tag you
Yeah. Am I in
or
your, if you
something?
put me in your group, I can
Yeah.
answer them however
Yeah.
you want, whatever
Okay,
works
cool.
best. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Cool,
So if people
cool.
like, if I know people will be watching this, they might have other questions about it,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, like, we have a lot of information. We even have a coaching program that we offer for free. So my goal is to like educate you and like, because like some people like you'll detox. There's superfoods like spirulina and chlorella, and some people are like, "Well, I'm tired." It's like, yeah, because your body's getting rid of all of
Right.
these toxins, right? And so we have naturopathic doctors that speak, and we have different experts within LiveUltimate that we give you free value to help you. So then, next thing you know, it's like it becomes like our habits, right? First, they become rituals, then they become habits, and then hopefully these become healthy addictions. And now we're like addicted to like working out, doing the things that actually serve us, not hurt us. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So that's a
Amazing.
part of like you could click on Never Miss a Day, and there's a free coaching program that you can sign up for, no
Free
cost.
coaching. Hello.
Free coaching. I
No
mean,
brainer.
yeah, that's
All right,
it.
great. So yeah, if you guys have other questions, go ahead and pop them in afterwards if you're watching the recording later. Um, I literally have like 3 products that I recommend out of the like probably 500 that come my way each year. Because Carolyn says I'm in. Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because I
you were
just
very very discerning. Like you were like you don't just pick up things just to pick them up.
no, no.
And that's why I was so blown away. So that's what I've always trusted. I trusted, like, when you put out the best quality things, you're going to get the best quality people coming back, like just from like a vibrational frequencies
Yeah.
perspective. And so when you came in, not even through me, it's like I was like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Yeah.
So there's something to be said there. And I would imagine your audience is like on that vibrational frequency. They're looking for like the best,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And my role is to do the due diligence and only share the truth, the best I
Share the
know.
truth.
Share the truth the best I know, and let you guys make your own decisions from there. So,
That's
Aaron,
it. Yeah, you just give people choices, and that's it. Cool.
yeah, thank you guys for
Thanks,
joining
Ella.
us. All right,
Thanks for being
thanks.
here. Thanks for listening to this conversation. Yep.
All right, see ya.